I'm here to present you Tryon. How many of you buy things online in general? Can you? Okay, so many of you. How many of you buy clothes online? Much less. So that's what we are considering now. Okay, the presentation is going back. So why should we buy clothes online? We have all these problems basically. We are worrying from what shop to buy. We are thinking about the reviews of the shops. We are considering, okay, does it have the good return policy? Would I want to buy from there or not? So in this case, I have to do lots of research. Usually it takes around 2 weeks for a person from the moment he wants to purchase something until he actually gets to do it. So it might be that the clothes are too big, like in this case, or they might be too small. So we have to consider all the factors here. And it's true, what we are seeing today here, it's seen in the studies made, because when it comes to computers or electronics, we find that 60% of the people are buying online, while the other, when it comes to clothes, they only buy around 20% will buy off the internet. So how can we deal with this? And we see that the global market is quite big, so it might be a good place to consider. So how much does it cost to online shop the returns that you might get from the fact that actually something doesn't fit, or if you don't find the exact thing you expected? So 50% of items get returned in some cases. Figures get that high, but how much does it actually mean in percent? 1%, it might even get to 13 million as we see here. So it's quite a big problem. So we're here to present to you a way to deal with this, a way to get your money back and to make your business more efficient. So what are we? We are going to present to you a way to have more confidence when it comes to your users when they're going to buy the clothes, to be confident with the size they're ordering, and they will also have a real-time review. So what are we? I have to explain. We are a public plugin that is integrated in your existing website. So this means that you will have your own website, you put the plugin, and then your users will have the preview in real time of the clothes. Easy as that. So you don't need any measurement equipment in our solution. And how are you going to do it? It's even cooler because you don't need Kinects, you don't need deep cameras, multi-cameras, you don't need big machines to measure you don't need to be physically there, but we only need your web camera, and this is something that's integrated with almost major laptops today. So the actual, how does it work behind the scenes? You have the 3D model of the person taken through the webcam. Of course, you will need more position of the person. It will take less than 10 minutes, but still you don't need to go somewhere to be measured. You don't need to do the measurement yourself. So then we have the 3D models of the clothes, and then we will deal with everything else. The market size mentioned before, 1975 billion, but out of this one, the online part is only around 20 million. We are not going to address all of it, of course, there are so many online shops. But at first we will target less than 1%, that will give us more than 1 million in revenue. So how do we make the revenue? We are going to do it in the next one. So you put your plugin in your website, and then you will be charged only when it comes to the person actually finalizing the transaction. And then if he uses our plugin to measure himself, to try on the clothes, then we will take the 5% out of the value of the shopping cart. So the channels would be to fashion blogs, to e-commerce platforms so that we can reach more customers. It will be to our website, some apps, and of course direct sales. We have the growth strategy. We will have the small shops at first. So we will go to the small shops in Finland, by the way. And we will give them the product to test it. We will get the statistics we need to approach bigger shops that are online. So basically we focus firstly on small shops that don't have actually a physical location. Our competition, of course, our competition. We have more, but there are two major factors here. The ones that use hardware solutions, they need big measuring places, or they need you to measure yourself, checking the data. They say that it takes less than 1 minute, but actually measuring myself will take more. And we see here that we try to combine a software solution with a very easy to use. So I just go online, I turn on my webcam, and in less than, as I said, 10 minutes, everything is done for me. And I will be able, and I have to do this once, I can have all the measurements in our system. So what are we requesting? It's 100K initial funding. And after that, we will need 200K after the 4th month, because we will do the development and taking care of all the operational costs. And we calculated that after 13 months, we will be cash flow positive. Who are we? We are international, and except for Valentin, who is from the journalistic area, we are all with technical backgrounds. Thank you. Also, me and my team are here for questions, if you have any.
I was wondering, what if you try the dress, let's say, you put it in the shopping cart, and then you delete the operation, and then you restart and you decide to pick the same without going through Tryon. In that case, you don't get any money.
I don't know exactly what kind of history they're keeping, but we might talk with the shop owners in this sense and make the negotiations before.
I have one question. So, what's your estimate? How much effort is needed for like one website? How much integration effort is needed, and how are you going to tackle that?
So, as mentioned, we will try to make plugins for major e-commerce platforms. This because as a small shop, you go there, you make your own website. So like this, we will be able to reach more customers. So we are saying that the actual integration should not take more than a couple of hours. The clothing, I don't know. You know, clothing part?
Not much, but we have maybe one of our main concerns is for every of the clothes we have to do the 3D modeling, because we have to map that on the 3D model of the imam to fit whether it's the exact match or not. So it depends. So if the shop has few number of clothes, then the modeling will not be that much difficult. But if we have too many clothes and too much designs, then we have to do those things. So it may take a little bit. It depends. That's why we start from small shops.
Yeah, I just want to turn to this question about the companies that you're targeting. So if you look at some of the very large manufacturers, there's one particular European company, Zalando, who have been very, very aggressive with their e-commerce system. And they're actually very, very technically adept. They have one of the most sophisticated advertising systems, profiling systems. Would that not be a better target for this? Because you could actually go to them and you say, this system is going to save you money in the long term.
Yes, we are starting with validating the idea. We're starting with small shops to show, okay, this works. To get the statistics, you will get this much increase in your revenues. So that's why we're targeting small. So if we go to the big companies, we will have the statistics and the validation.
So the issue here for me is that the very small companies are niche players. They're targeting a very specific kind of customer.
Yes,
Whereas the larger stores are trying to be very, very generic. And that's possibly where the bigger gains are.
yes, but I told you we cannot go as a team and present a solution and say it works without validating it. So we need the statistics before, we need a partnership with smaller shops.
But I'm trying to evaluate also the risk here that if you go for a smaller company, you might get very, very skewed data. And you're not going to be able to build up